Hello everybody, the Nameless Narcissist here once again. Simple man, diagnosed with NPD, giving you the facts on narcissistic personality disorder and the things that go on in my head. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, but keep in mind, I am no clinician. I can only speak to my own experiences. So, there's something in the common culture nowadays that kind of annoys me. We have this archetypal view of narcissism that is so homogenous and is so obvious, right? I feel like most people, if they just, let's say they just read the diagnostic criteria, they could probably, or like things on the internet, they would probably think that they can spot a narcissist in like 2 seconds. And that's kind of ridiculous to me. We aren't some homogenous group, right? We have all sorts of presentations. I mean, if you want some evidence, look at me, look at Sarah, Cluster V Milkshake, or look at Tess, Spirit Narc. Like, I don't think there's anybody that like, if we were all in a room together, assuming that nobody knew that we were narcissists, that they would be that person, and that person is a narcissist. Because that archetypal, that stereotype isn't real. I mean, sure, there are people like that, right? And maybe they are pathologically narcissistic. But that's a really rare presentation, because if you're smart and you're a narcissist, you come to learn people don't really like narcissists. And you learn how to kind of hide it. And not to come off as like fragrantly grandiose. And not to mention, we do the hiding the self, right? We're always performing. We're always trying to like give the image that people want. So it makes it really hard to spot a narcissist. So I came up with some actual subtle signs that somebody might be a narcissist. And I have engaged in basically all these behaviors. So I have my stamp of approval. Before I start though, shout out to Kirk Honda, because he helped me come up with this list, not personally, but he has a similar video. And I took the ones that rang most true to me and wrote them down this list. Like, all of his things were good. It's just I think these ones are probably the most universal, so to speak. So the first one is this knee-jerk reaction to anything wrong in life to kind of deflect the blame onto somebody else, right? It's like, for me, it's like almost, it's like there's like this anger that boils up in me that like I kind of have to, about the situation, that I just have to blame someone for it, because obviously I can't be responsible for it. And sometimes it's like, deep down I kind of know it was my fault and stuff like that. But here's a good example. I remember once I was driving home from a friend's house, and my other friend Seth was in the car with me, and he's like giving me directions, right? He's giving me directions, which way to go, yada yada. And I come on this stop sign and ask my friend, I'm like, hey, which way are we supposed to go to? And he's like, oh, I'm pretty sure we go straight. Later it turned out that he gave the wrong direction, but whatever. And then but I didn't realize it was a two-way stop. Like, there's only stop signs on my side. So I start going out and we get hit. And immediately I'm like, God damn it, Seth, if you would have told me to go that way, then then we would have gotten in an accident, right? And that was just knee-jerk, like, I wasn't even thinking about how ridiculous that is in the moment. I look back on that now and I'm like, man, that was really stupid of me to say. But stuff like that could happen all the time. The example Kirk Honda got is like, let's say you, like somebody, like you're driving and you pop a tire, and then like somebody, the narcissist is like, what'd you do last time you drove this car? Which is also very relatable. Yeah, it's not like this weird, I don't know, because I feel like people talk about deflection in a way that makes it sound very purposeful, very calculated and stuff like that. It's not. It's this knee-jerk reaction. Sometimes I'll rationalize it, but it's never like this, like, I need a plan to be able to blame this person for whatever the hell is going wrong. The second one is, like, let's say you're in a friend group with a narcissist, right? You might have this desire to please them and gain their approval, because otherwise you might feel like you might be socially ostracized. This one, I am very guilty of this one. Every friend group I've ever been in, I have kind of placed, because of the nature of me, I have sort of became in the center of all these groups. And if somebody would piss me off, I'd ostracize them. I mean, hell, it didn't even have to be them pissing me off. I remember once I ostracized somebody just because they missed a hangout. They were like, oh, this guy made an excuse not to hang out with us. And like, it turns out he was hanging out with his girlfriend. And I was like, it's even more reason to be mad. He flaked on us. Fuck him. He's dead to me. It was so fucking stupid. So like, you may pick up on that either consciously or subconsciously and almost be like nervous around them, nervous of how you present, right? You may take up some narcissistic defenses right there in order to kind of accommodate for that. Hide the self, y'all. You might see that a narcissistic person will never be able to relax in social situations. You know what I mean? Like, how to put it? Like, I have this constant pressure when I'm in a social situation where I have to be talking to everybody, making sure everybody likes, like trying to talk to everybody, because I'm afraid that if I'm not talking to everybody, then the one person I'm excluding is going to hate me. And at the same time, trying to make sure I'm being charming and funny and the center of attention, because if I'm not charming everybody, I'm afraid that I'm going to be excluded from everything going into the future. Right? I will go and I will like I see people that would just sit at parties every now and then, just like kind of messing on their phone, you know, not like kind of distant from the group and stuff like that for a little bit. And I'm like, how do you do that? How do you not think everyone's going to think you're boring or weird or awkward? I can't even comprehend being okay doing that. So like there's this almost urgency to and like high energy in a narcissist, like in social situations. Don't get me wrong, that's like puts me on a grandiose high, right? But still there's a pressure there, a big one. I'm always like thinking after I leave a party, like, did I talk enough? Like, is everyone still gonna like me? What are they thinking about me? Oh, I can't leave parties. I have to be the last one to leave a party, because I'm so afraid that everyone's going to start shit talking me, or people are going to say things about me that I don't like. Oh my God, it's so ridiculous. This one's pretty straightforward. Mood swings. Fucking wild ass, random ass mood swings. This one's pretty, again, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, oh shit. I think it's fine. Whatever. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Like, this is why it can get mistaken for bipolar so often. Is that like out of nowhere they might like shut down and like start being, you know, in a mood, or they might rage out of nowhere and like storm off. Like wild emotions. Keep in mind, we are part of cluster B, the emotional, erratic, and dramatic cluster. So we're very prone to mood swings as well as borderlines and histrionics and stuff like that. If you're really close to them, they might describe your friendship as the best thing ever. It's like, oh, we have such a better friendship. Oh, our friendship is so much more healthy than everybody else's. Like, you'll be included in their grandiosity. It's like, you're also special because you're associating with me, so we're both special, more or less, if that makes sense. I've had a couple friendships like that. Or for me, it was like I would have my inner circle of friends, right? That'd be like, all these other people are idiots, but us, we're the ones in charge. We're the ones calling the shots. Once I called it, when I was really young, we had a thing called the core group. When I was out of high school, we had this thing called the council, that was some debauchery right there. We came up with a very pervy, I'm not even going to talk about that. That's an embarrassing one. Maybe I got to talk about that sometime then. But yeah, I always kind of had that inner sanctum that these are the best people. We are the best. We're the coolest. We're the smartest. We are the ones that are actually competent, etc., etc. We're the leaders. I usually prefer when I'm the one on top, but it was wishy-washy with a couple of those. And the last one, and this is the one that most people probably won't see. This is basically limited to partners and like close friends. Is when you're alone with them, or like let's say you guys go to a party and you're having a good time, or like after they get home from work or something like that, they're going to be asking for almost constant reassurance. They're going to be asking you, do you think that person hate me? Do you think I did a good job of work? I think I'm incompetent at my job. I'm sorry I'm being boring right now. Am I being boring? Am I boring you? Am I weird right now? Like, especially the boring one. I was talking to Tess about this today. Like, oh my God, I will ask my partner 20 times a day when I'm hanging out with them if I'm being boring. And like, I'll apologize for being boring. I'll apologize if we aren't really doing anything. We're just hanging out. Because I can't do that relaxation shit. Relaxing is very stressful for me. And I think this gets at the core of narcissism, right? As I always say, this is a self-esteem disorder. This is just self-consciousness to the extreme that we need to pretend to be somebody else. And so when you're super close to them, I mean, that's probably the most real you ever want to see in a narcissist, that constant asking for reassurance. Yeah. So personally, I think that's one of the biggest signs right there. The rest of the things, they could probably hide a little bit better than that. Who knows? Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you liked this, please like, comment, and subscribe per usual. And take your fucking meds, please. Oh, also, I don't know, if you know, I'm curious what your guys' takes on subtle signs are. I'd love to hear them. Okay. Have a good day.